I'm going to show you how to get more views using TubeBuddy. I'm going to tell you the specific tools inside of TubeBuddy, the different options that you have that are going to help you get more views on your videos. And we're starting right now. Cheryl D. Floyd left a comment asking, I just got TubeBuddy and I'm overwhelmed. I need someone to go very slowly and show me what is the most important one thing I need to do first. Well, Cheryl and everybody else watching this video, I'm going to show you the one thing that you need to do first when it comes to TubeBuddy and using it to get more views on your channel. And I'm going to show you even more things that you can use it for to get more views on your YouTube channel. Before this, we got to head to the computer. Okay, so here we are in front of the computer, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can use TubeBuddy to get more views on your YouTube videos and basically make your channel just do better. Now, just as a heads up, I'm going to be showing you some of the free features and I'm going to be showing you some of the paid features as well. But if you want to follow along, you can install TubeBuddy if you don't have it already. You can install TubeBuddy through the link in the description, or you can just go to tubebuddy.com/Nimmin, my last name, and that is an affiliate link. So if you do decide to upgrade in the future, then I will get a commission for that. But you can install it free now so that you can go ahead and follow along with the free options that I'm going to be showing you here in this particular video. And even with the free one, it's still going to help you get views on your videos as well. So if you don't want to, you never have to upgrade, which is pretty cool. So the next thing on the list that I want to talk about here, now that we got all that out of the way, is the Keyword Explorer. So in order to get to this, I'm just going to click on the icon up here, and then it's going to open up this whole window that's going to show me the tool and the different options that I have. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to go to the extension tools, and then I'm going to click on Keyword Explorer. Now with the Keyword Explorer, one of the really awesome things about this is when you open this up, if you make any type of content that is based on current events, things that are happening right now, you're doing news content, or you're doing sports content, or you're doing gaming content, anything like that, then they're going to show you here if anything major is happening. This shows you all of the searches that are happening right now in this case in the United States, but you can sort this by the entire world. But basically this is showing you all of the stuff that people are talking about right now on the internet. So if you see something, if you log in, you scroll through this and you see something that applies to the type of content that you make, that's an opportunity because there's a higher interest of that topic happening right now. So if you make a video, the likelihood of you getting views for that video is drastically higher. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the Keyword Explorer box up here, and I'm going to put in a keyword. So what you want to do in this situation, a lot of people will put in an entire title. And when they put in an entire title, what they're doing is they're kind of working against themselves. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to put in the keyword to start with. You want to put in the basic idea. So since NFL schedule is the thing that is one of the things here trending, I'm just going to put in NFL schedule just for fun. And then I'm going to hit go so that we can explore this one. Now, once I'm in here, you're going to see that TubeBuddy is showing me the overall score, which in my case is good for this particular one. It's not amazing. It's not great. It's not excellent, but it's good. Now they're showing me this weighted. Now, if this was just general, right? Like if you're on the free version, you're going to see the general version of this. And that basically doesn't take any of your channel's data into account when it's showing you the results. When you are on weighted, it's also taking all of the information that's happening on your YouTube channel, your average views for video, all the interactions that's happening on your channel, people that have recently watched your content and all that. And it's giving you just an idea of, how you can perform based on all of the data around your channel that they have access to. So that's what the weighted versus the unweighted is. But if possible, you want to go with the weighted. Of course, that's the upgrade, but the same information I'm getting ready to tell you also applies to the unweighted as well. So you can use it in the free version. Now, where does the score actually come from, right? If we look at this and we see good, where does it actually come from? Well, if we go down to the score analysis, you can see here that they show us that the search volume on this is excellent. Of course it is, because it's a trending topic right now. So it's all the way in the green, as far as it can possibly go in the green, which tells us like, hey, a lot of people are looking for this. So because of that, there's a lot of opportunity here for NFL schedule. Now, the next thing on this list is the competition. This is basically telling us like, hey, what's the competition like on this? In this situation, it's not fantastic. It's not great. It's just kind of like, and it's in the orange, which tells me like, I'm not really sure if I would really make this video or not, because when it comes to the competition, I don't have like a really like super winning possibility chance of getting past them in that situation. And keep in mind though, this is for search rankings, right? But everything I'm getting ready to tell you, or everything that I'm talking about, this also helps you with discovery in general, because when you're using keywords in your title, your description, tags, all of that, then that helps give YouTube context to what your video is about, which then helps them show it to the right people on the platform. And if you don't believe me, or if you've heard otherwise, if you go to youtube.com/howYouTubeWorks/product review, search overview, one of the things that you're going to see here is that they straight up tell us to estimate relevance. And this is when it comes to search. To estimate relevance, we look into many factors such as how well the title, tags, description, and video content match your search query. Now, within that, it is important to know that tags are not the most important thing that you need to focus on. However, still use them, okay? And this is also gonna help with that. Okay, now let's look at the optimization strength. If you look at the optimization strength, what this is telling me is that people are really optimized for this. So if I'm trying to make a video for this, then there's a really good chance, like my optimization has to be on point, my video has to be awesome, the overall response to what it is that I'm doing has to be magnificent in order for me to have a crack at this particular one. Now, if we keep going down here, this is also telling us that the number of videos and search results is 12.6 million, and the number of monthly searches, an estimate, is 23.7 million. And then it also gives me some other general information in terms of just average view counts and things like that. So when it comes to this, what you use this for in terms of getting more views is the higher you can get this score, the better your chances are for showing up for this topic on YouTube. Now, keep in mind, you want to base this around the keyword or keyword phrase that you're going for, not your entire title. So the big idea on YouTube is you want to make sure that you are writing titles that get clicked in terms of they're compelling, but you also want to make sure that you're including keywords or keyword phrases for YouTube having context when you first publish and for humans to be able to identify that that particular video is for them. So because of that, you don't want to put your entire title, because once you start putting in your entire title, what you're doing in that situation is you start working against yourself, because then you're only basing all of this information that you're seeing on the screen on your entire title, not just the keyword or keyword phrase that you're trying to bring attention to your video for, okay? So one thing that we can do here, we see that this is good, right? This ranking's good, but if I wanted to make it better, and this is where this thing starts getting really powerful. So if we wanted to make it better, then in this situation, I would go over here where it shows me video searches. Now, if I look at this, it's showing me here that NFL schedule 2020, NFL 2020 predictions, NFL schedule release predictions. So it's giving me all of these other options based on things that people are looking for on YouTube. So because of that, I can click on NFL 2020 or NFL schedule 2020. And when I click on that, it's going to change everything over here in this left panel. And just so you know, you have a history down here, so you can actually go back if you want to. But it's going to show me here, now that I change my keyword or keyword phrase to NFL schedule 2020, now my chances of ranking for this or showing up for this are excellent, right? And you can see everything moved here to kind of be a little bit more in my favor. And since we put the 2020, it's more current, which means that I'm also competing with a lot less people for this particular term, even though the search volume is very good, even though there's a lot of search. So because of that, the other version, and I'm just going to go back to it here just so you can see the difference. But the other version of just NFL schedule, in that case, I was competing with 12 million other videos on the platform. So what I did in this situation by just using their recommendation over here in the related is I just cut my competition down to less than half of what it was previously, just by fine tuning the keyword phrase that I'm after. Now, another thing that this can do in terms of helping you get more views is helping you come up with video ideas that people are interested in as well. Because in this situation, you know, of course, if I was making this type of video, I'd have some type of sports channel. But in this case, I'm going after NFL schedule 2020. However, I would need to make some follow-up videos to this if this thing started doing great, because there's a higher interest right now. So because of that, NFL 2020 predictions might be the next video that I would make, or maybe it would be something like NFL schedule 2020 week 1, and then I could start breaking down some of this stuff based on things that people are actually looking for. Now, another way that this can help you get views, because this right here is about YouTube, but another way this can help you get views is if I click on web searches, this also tells me, like on Google, like what are people looking for on Google? And then I can also start looking for video ideas and things that people are interested in here as well. Because one of the big advantages on YouTube is if you can make topics or make content about topics that people care about or that they're interested in mass, then you're automatically right out of the gate increasing your potential for being able to tap into all of that heightened interest around a topic. And it doesn't have to be trending. What I'm saying is it's just stuff that people are actually looking for instead of making up titles and making up keywords. Using this, you actually get to identify video topics and video ideas that people are actively looking for on the platform, they're looking for them on the web, so that you can increase your chances of getting exposure there. Now, if we take this a step farther, let's go up here to the top. Now, we're also going to see, if we were going after this, when I click on this, the results that I'm seeing, these are showing me the other search results for this particular case. And keep in mind, again, I just want to remind you that this is made for ranking videos in search, but this is also something that you can use just as a discovery tool to make sure that you're fine-tuning your content in a way and making the right topics just to help yourself show up on home pages and recommendations as well, because you're making videos about the right things that people care about. And you're titling it in a way to give YouTube the right context. But anyway, this shows you the other videos that happen to be showing up for those search results. And then of course, if I look at NFL Schedule 2020 right now, because it's a brand new trending topic, it's not showing any results for that right now in terms of historical, because right now, the 2020, it's just a brand new trending topic. So because of that, it's not actually showing me any trending data. But if you have an older topic, it'll show you trending data here. And then historical, again, because we're going after 2020, I don't expect it to show me anything here, but it does. So it does show me that there was a peak of interest back in May for this particular thing as well. So you can start using this information to see actually how the interest in the topic is ramping up. And then right here, you can see that, you know, we're getting a little bit more of a lift here recently with this, and you can use that to make future content decisions on things that are steadily increasing over time in interest, or things that have had just a consistent amount of interest over time. So let's say, for example, you're making content about quilting, or you're making gaming content. Then in that situation, what you can do is you can go in here and you can put in your keyword about a particular game, and you can see if the interest of that game is on the rise or if it's on the fall. So you can make sure, hey, if I'm going to start a channel on this, or if I'm going to start, you know, making content about that particular game, I want to make sure that, you know, that it has a good, bright future ahead, instead of that, you know, the curtain's closing for that particular game. Okay, now we're going to go up to the tool again, and we are going to go down to the SEO Studio. Now, TubeBuddy calls this the SEO Studio, but personally I like to call it the Discovery Studio, because again, YouTube tells us that it's important to make sure that you're adding keywords and things like that to your videos so that YouTube can have context. So you can see this again. You can see this here where they show you to estimate relevance. We look for many factors such as how well the title, tags, description, and the video content match your search query. So this tells us right here from YouTube. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in NFL schedule 2020, because that is what we are going for. And I'm going to hit start. Okay, right out of the gate, I'm up to a 62%, which is good. Now I'm going to see if I can take that up further. And I'm going to say NFL schedule 2020. Make it a little bit compelling, everything you need to know. Okay. And then I'm going to move down here to the description. And one of the things to understand here when you are doing all of this is you can see that they have NFL schedule 2020 up here in the top, and they went ahead and just put it in the description for you. Now, of course, you want to continue to talk about the actual video itself so that you can, you know, just fill this out with an actual description of what your video is about. Now, I can say here, the NFL schedule 2020 has been released, and this video shares all. Okay, so what I just did there is I basically just filled out the description. You can see through all these little changes that I'm making how it's improving my SEO score. And the reason for that, as I'm making these changes, is that it's basically just giving more context to what's going on, and I'm including information about what it is that I'm talking about. So you'll see here that I included NFL. I also used schedule again in there just for the sake of adding it. But most importantly, though, I have the actual keyword that I'm going after in here once in natural language. Now, I do recommend for this tutorial, I'm not going to do it, but I do recommend that you do fill out your descriptions a little bit. You know, just keep giving more context. Just talk about what your video is actually about, and make sure that you are including keywords in there in natural language in the actual paragraphs as you're putting them together. Do not stuff. Do not just cram a bunch of stuff in there. That's against the community guidelines. You do not want to do that, but you do want to make sure that you're including those words in natural language. Now that we have that taken care of, we're going to go to next. Now, another really cool thing about this is you can see that they went ahead and put my target keyword into the tags box. So now what I can do is I can go down here. I'll put in a misspelling. I will put in the release, because that's what's going on. And I'm just going to take, you know, a look at their suggestions here and just see if there's anything that I can put in here to help raise this score up. Okay, so I went ahead and filled out the tags box here with things that are relevant to the video that I'm talking about. Now, this is really important because, again, and I'm going to keep referencing this, to estimate relevance, we look into many factors such as how well the title, tags, description, and video content match your search query. So because of that, I'm making sure that I'm not talking about just a bunch of random stuff in here. I'm talking about the NFL schedule 2020. So, of course, I put in the NFL there as well because the video is about the NFL. And then the other thing is the NFL season because this is about the NFL season, and the NFL Games 2020 because, again, this is all about the NFL schedule for 2020. So for the sake of relevance, that's why I put those in there. Now, the one thing keeping me back right now is that I don't have the partial matches of the target keyword. But by adding schedule, I was able to go ahead and get that in because now we have schedule, the video has NFL, or the tags have NFL, it has schedule, my target keyword NFL schedule 2020, right? So now my SEO score for this is 100%, which means it doesn't mean that this video is 100% sure going to get lots of views on it. What it means is my video is properly prepared to give me the best opportunity to get discovered on YouTube and to show up in search, show up in recommendations, and to get shown on the homepage as long as people respond to the content. So again, you still have to make great content, but this makes sure that your video is optimized properly for the highest possible opportunity for you getting views on your videos. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to next. And now that we're on next, another really awesome thing about TubeBuddy is you can see here as we scroll down, we can see the other thumbnails that we would be going against for this particular term. So what I can do is I can click on upload thumbnail. And then when I click on upload thumbnail, I'm just gonna pick something random here. We'll do that. So here we're just gonna put my mad face, and you can see here that, you know, out of all the other things, of course, you know, people would probably respond more to the NFL imagery. However, you know, depending on this particular video, saying that, hey, I'm not happy with the schedule might be something that would work, but I wouldn't use this thumb, but I'm just using this as an example so that you can see exactly how, if you just upload your thumbnail, you can use this competitively. So you can say, this is what the other thumbnails look like for this particular thing. So I need to make sure that mine stands out more than theirs. If you do that, that's also going to help you get more views. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about that's going to help you get more views is the A/B testing tool. So we all know, we're content creators, we know how important it is. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you know how important it is to make sure that your thumbnails are effective, to make sure that people are clicking on your thumbnails at a high rate, they're watching the video because the expectation is right when they clicked on the video. So when you go into TubeBuddy and you install TubeBuddy, they have something called the A/B testing feature. Now, with the A/B testing feature, what this does is this actually shows you when you compare thumbnails against each other, it shows you exactly how people responded to it on the same video. So it's not like, hey, I'm going to do one video like this and one video like this. So based on how the content is and the topic and all that, it's going to be different. This is saying same video, same topic. We're swapping out thumbnails and we're going to let you know which one's better so that you can use that one because it gets more clicks, gets more watch time and all of that stuff. So let me show you how this works out. So when it comes to the A/B testing feature, you can see here that I can see in this particular case for this app video that when I change the thumbnail to this without my face on it, and there's just more clarity, right? Apps for YouTubers. Right here, what happened is it took my click-through rate from a 3.97 to a 5.34. Okay, so we know click-through rate's important. So here, I just made a better thumbnail. Now, another thing that's really awesome about this is if you look over here, it's also showing us how much watch time per impression that we're generating as well, which is ultimately what YouTube wants. YouTube wants as much watch time per impression as possible. So because of that, you can see here that I'm even getting a few more seconds of watch time per impression as well because the better thumb generated more watch time per impression, right? So I'm winning in two areas there. Now, a really cool thing, which this is just kind of like a side note, but one of the really cool things is you can actually see here the clicks and how much they actually stand out, you know, here against each other as well. But if we keep scrolling down, more importantly, another thing that I want to show you here is when it comes to your thumbnails, and it's really important to understand this, your thumbnails create an expectation. Your thumbnail and your title, actually, they create an expectation of, you know, what somebody expects when they click on that video. If it's conscious or unconscious, there's an expectation there. That's why when people click on one thumbnail compared to another thumbnail, they'll watch longer or for less. So in this particular situation with the A/B testing tool, TubeBuddy even shows me that I'm getting a little bit more watch time as well, or a little bit more average view duration, which over the course, you know, of the videos between the two, it actually, you know, ends up stacking up to a lot. But it shows you that in terms of the average view view duration that people watch this one for just a little bit longer when they click on this particular video compared to this one. Now, in addition to that, let's say you're targeting search with your content. Let's say you're like, hey, I got a search-based channel, Nick. I'm just trying to, get my videos to perform well in search. Well, right down here, if you look at the traffic sources, this tells me that I get a much better response in search from this one than I do from this one. It also tells me that in suggested videos, because we all want that suggested content as well, right? Or that suggested traffic. This tells me also that I get more suggested traffic when I use this thumbnail, and I get more clicks on home pages when I use this thumbnail. So because of that, even though, I love this thumbnail, my face is in it, of course, even though I love this thumbnail, I clicked on this one and it's now this one because the test has showed me that people respond to this one better. So for long-term video performance, this thumbnail is going to give me more views. And you can even do this with details. So let's say, for example, we go back to this one. So this is a very old video, and I had somebody reach out to me on Facebook, and they're like, hey, Nick, I noticed that your videos have this red line on the bottom, and it confused me. I thought that I had already watched that video, even though I knew that I didn't, so I just wanted to bring it to your attention. And I'm glad they did, because I made these thumbnails back before YouTube had that little red line on the bottom, and I just had that as part of my branding so people could identify my stuff. And so I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's take your opinion and let's put it to a test and let's see how it actually turns out. And you can see here that by removing that line, I increased my click-through rate by 36% in this situation. I have a little bit more of watch time per impression from it. My average view duration is up just a tad, just a little bit. And in search, this video gets clicked on more, the one without the red line on it. In suggested, the video without the line on it gets clicked on more. And on home pages, that video gets clicked on more. So because of that, or that thumbnail. So because of that, doing that test let me identify that, hey, in this particular video, and I'm going to test it on the other ones as well, but in this particular video, I need to get that line off of there because it's actually hurting me. Not just this person has that opinion, but now we have data to prove their opinion of not wanting to click that because they thought that they had already watched that video. But you can see exactly how valuable this is when it comes to using this to get more views on what it is that you're doing. And again, you can install TubeBuddy through the link in the description, or you can go to tubebuddy.com/Nimmin so that you can see what TubeBuddy can do for you. And in addition to helping you get views, it also has a lot more features that are going to help you with your YouTube channel as well. For even more tools that are going to help you with tons of different aspects of your YouTube channel, click into this playlist right here. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. I've got an entire channel full of content for YouTubers. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.